Chapter 29, Killdeer Farm on the Outskirts of Chokecherry. Casey beat the sunrise to Killdeer's farm by a minute. Despite a wandering rooster crooning his best American Idol audition, Manito was fast asleep. He was glad his little friend was sleeping well this week because he hadn't had a peaceful night's rest all week. He replayed his interaction with Geronimo on his date with Piper, their first kiss. They agreed to meet up at the Louis L'Amour Library after he finished at Gunner's house to go over her research. Casey squeezed the strap on his backpack and found Hondo mid-sweat in the dojo. Happy Friday, Hondo. Hondo finished the combination on his bag. Morning, Casey Clay. Ready for your training? I am, but while I put on my gear, let me tell you about the plan for Gunner. Very well, I could use a water break. Hondo grabbed his water bottle and towel and sat down on the bench. Casey filled him in on Trucky's Alabama ransomware idea and planned to lure Gunner to Iverson's pot of gold. Hondo listened without interruption or expression until Casey finished the brief. What do you think? Hondo rubbed his chin. That's different. I think it could work and I'd like to be there with you tonight. I know the area and you can imagine someone as old as me remembers when it was still an active oil site. I heard a lot of activity across the river this morning and spotted Gunner's pickup. Early start to their day. Thanks for the confirmation of Gunner. That's important to know. And I'd love to have you there this evening. Casey finished putting on his gear, including the buffalo helmet. The last item in the bottom of his bag was his flannel. He brought it with, hoping his brother's spirit would feel closer to him today. Am I ready? Do you think I can take someone like Gunner down? Hondo sprang to his feet. You could certainly benefit from more training, but you have less than 24 hours before Gunner leaves. Quick, get into position. Let me play the role of Gunner. Hondo moved so he was in front of the heavy bag. Where should I attack him from? Casey gripped his clubs as he moved toward Hondo. You ride a motorcycle, so you must be extra aware of the blind spots other drivers have on the road. Of course, I've had a few near misses because of it, especially with big trucks. My point exactly. Imagine I'm Gunner and I just walked into a warehouse and this heavy bag represents my belongings. His focus will be directed forward, and then someone like your friend Trucky can divert his attention by playing music to Gunner's right. Hondo turned slightly to the right. At this point, Gunner's field of vision will comprise his belongings to the left and the area to the right where the music is coming from. You must position yourself in the corner at his back, his blind spot. Casey moved to the front left corner of the dojo, closest to the door. Right here? Yes. As soon as Gunner walks past you and turns toward the music, you strike at his back. Hondo slapped his hands together. How should I strike him? If you're loud or if he senses your attack, he will likely crouch and turn. Hondo showed this by squatting and spinning toward him. My advice to you is bring your left club in high and strike down behind his left ear. With your right club, follow through low and hit the side of his knee with all the power in your body. The blow to the head may be difficult to land, so don't overextend. But he'll be planting on his leg, and if you strike his knee with your club, using the force I know you have, it could shatter and immobilize him. Do you understand? I think so, but can we roleplay it? Of course. Let me start outside and we'll go through the motions extra slow at first. Hondo left the dojo and Casey crouched into position in the room's corner. The door handle turned and Hondo entered. Hondo paused, pretending to take in his environment, and then walked up to the heavy bag. Casey put his weight forward on the balls of his feet, and when Hondo turned to his right, Casey pretended to run in slow motion. He lifted his clubs and Hondo began twisting his body as Casey approached. Casey swung his clubs as instructed and imagined swinging through Gunner's knee. Good! Now again with more speed. Remember, you'll have a few of us there for backup, so once you strike his knee, we can aid in restraining him. The key is to shock and immobilize him quick. They practiced the sequence a dozen more times, and Casey felt more comfortable with the approach and strikes. They were about to set up for another attempt when his phone rang. Let me check this quick. Drink some water while you do, so you stay hydrated, Hondo said. Casey looked at his phone. It was the Knife River Visitor Center, Beekler. He didn't answer quick enough and it went to voicemail. Before he could check his voicemail, she called back. He answered and put it on speakerphone. What happened to you yesterday afternoon? Had some things come up. You said you would be here before the sunrise. Where are you? Beekler's voice was stern. Casey coughed. He looked across the dojo at Hondo, who was observing him like he was an SAT test examiner. We need to do our final run-throughs before the big briefing. How soon can you get here? Casey thought back to what Trucky had said about faking COVID. Then he thought about Trucky flopping around on the ground like a dying fledgling bird and he snorted. Junior Ranger Clay, are you seriously laughing right now? Beekler, listen to me. How many hours did we practice the briefing yesterday? Not enough because you vanished midday. Why? You know the briefing as well as I do, right? Yes. Beekler's voice lowered. What are you getting at? I had something important come up again today. An emergency. I'm really sorry, but you're going to have to give that briefing on your own. Dead silence. Ranger Beekler? Casey looked up at Hondo, who gave him a slight head nod. What in the holy hell are you talking about? Beekler screamed. I don't think you realize the importance of this briefing on your career. Your father didn't go out on a limb for you just to throw away. I'm thinking about my career, Beekler, just not the one everyone thinks I should have. I'm sorry it's last minute, but an opportunity has come up for me right now, and I have to take it. But your father is, even if it infuriates my dad. Casey ended the call and turned his phone on silent. I'm gonna catch hell for that. Hondo knocked his knuckles twice on the bench. You might, but I'm impressed with you, young man. In a moment of conflict, the truth is more difficult to tell than a lie. Children prove that to us repeatedly as they grow, and I've found it doesn't get much better when we become adults. This is an important moment in your life, and I'm glad you told Beekler the truth. Me too. Casey checked his watch. I've got to head out soon to meet Truckee. I'm gonna go see if Manitou is awake so I can feed him before I go. You think you can do the afternoon feeding before you come out to meet us? I'll feed him and plan to meet you at the site unless you tell me otherwise. Thanks. Casey took off his gear and packed it into his backpack, setting the buffalo helmet in last. I'm not sure if I mentioned this already, but I appreciate all your help and guidance. The buffalo helmet is cool too. You don't know it yet, but you'll give me and our community way more than I can ever give to you.